Hello and welcome to the Whisky.com news on the 28th of March 2022. And we have a number of very interesting news. And let's start with the Scotch and GlenAllachie. They're bringing out 3 new Virgin Oak series bottlings. Yeah, they are finished whiskey, so they have their normal maturation in ex-bourbon casks made from American oak, and then they are being finished, and out comes a 15-year-old virgin oak finish. That doesn't mean 15-year-old in virgin oak, but it's 15-year-old in total. And then we have the 10-year-old French virgin oak finish. So French virgin oak, that must be really, really interesting. And a 10-year-old Chincapin virgin oak finish. Interesting take to virgin oak. Usually you take virgin oak as a maturation at the beginning and then you finish it with something interesting, but they do it the other way around. All of them have 48% ABV. As usual, no coloring, no chill filtration. Then we have news from the Lowland Distillery, that is Bladnoch. It brings out the Alinta, and it's the first peated whiskey from the distillery since the takeover in 2015. It's now running, and it comes out in PX and bourbon cask, and sounds like a really, really interesting whiskey. Then we have Spey whiskey with new designs in limited bottlings. Yeah, we do know the Spey whiskey is also in touch with wine making and with a lot of artisans, so they have the artist in residence Joanna McDonough, don't know, and she made 3 new limited edition, and they're all 46% ABV. Then we have the Balvenie in the news. It has 3 new Cask Finish bottlings. 2 of them, unfortunately, just for global travel retail. And the third one that is in international trading is the Balvenie French Oak Cask, 16 years old. And French oak is kind of a bit of a strange thing for Balvenie to use, so it's a bit more unusual whiskey. All of the 3 bottlings should be available on the 1st of April. Then we have the Glen Garioch is now reopening. It's not because of Corona, but because of renovation. They have been closed for 2 years. I think they wanted a bit shorter, but now they made it in 2 years, and they invested £6 million into the distillery, and they have a new way of direct firing the stills where they produce 15% less CO2, and they have their own malting floors, and everything sounds like really, really nice things going on for Glen Garioch. And on top of all that, they're celebrating their reopening with a Glen Garioch from 1991, which is now 30 years old. Imagine that. Then we have another sale. Diageo is selling their Scotch whisky brand, and that is called the Windsor Whisky blended Scotch whisky, including their W series, for $163 million. And they actually want to close the deal in the year 2023. I'm not quite sure, maybe that's wrong. Maybe it should be 2022, hopefully, because otherwise that would take awfully long. Then we have Michter's 10-year-old bourbon release, and that is actually postponed to 2023. Maybe they just tasted it and realized, oh, that takes another year. Unfortunately, it's not being released this year, but good whiskey needs its time. Then we have a redesign for Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey has a new bottle design. I start off with the Wild Turkey 101, and it's kind of a new interpretation of the old traditional bourbon bottle, and it actually looks like a bit of a turkey. So the first one is the 101, and the rest of their brand is following steps. So in future we will see them all in this design. Then we have one international news left, and that is Lark Distilling. I've already talked about that that Lark Distilling was the buyer, and they bought the Pontville Distillery, and now they are opening, or they actually have opened on the 25th of March with their new distillery and nice visitor center. And yeah, it is located in Tasmania in Australia, so it is kind of at the end of the world, but I find it really good that also Australia is actually participating in the whiskey distilling business. I like it. Yeah, that was it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.